Welcome back, Crusaders. Today we're talking about Space Marines 2. Now, I'm not a Warhammer fan. I know very little about the franchise and its lore, but I found this game to be very enjoyable and reminiscent of games of Gears of War. It's not a perfect game, but it's a very fun game. This game is a long-awaited sequel for fans of Warhammer Space Marine, which came out in 2011 on Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. This installment was made by the same people who gave us World War Z, and they are taking what they learned from World War Z and implementing it perfectly in this title. Space Marine 2 picks up the story right where it left off in the first one, but they do a good job of trying to catch up the player as to what has happened. What's the best way to describe Space Marine 2? Basically, it's just manly men doing manly things, from exterminating bugs to fighting heretics and space dragons. Now let's talk about what's good about this game. The game is just downright fun. It sticks to its lore and storytelling and doesn't apologize for any of it. We got a game here where the developers have taken tech and lessons learned from their previous games and implemented it here perfectly. It really shows when you see the hordes of enemies flooding your position. Now, the multiplayer is also great because here you can play the campaign with a friend, or you can also access some of the best missions and modes in what they call Operations Mode, which gives you a PvP, PvE missions to play. There's a ton of customization available for you to rank up, and none of it is microtransactioned. The graphics look great. I didn't encounter any bugs or crashes, and it delivered on what it's promised, which the promise was very simple. Gore, action, hack and slash, you got it. They delivered on it. It's what we wanted. Now for the meh. The meh is basically the main story. You end up realizing that your squad is the heroes of the story, but you're not the heroes who get to fight the big bosses and defeat the hive mind or kill the massive dragon. You're the heroes who lays the target from a distance, the heroes who run to push the button to send off the nuke that's going to blow something up. You're not the people who actually go and fight the hive mind and all that. So it makes the boss battles in this campaign feel kind of lackluster, because it's really just, hey, big new giant monster shows up, kind of kill that, and then later on that same monster will show up as a regular enemy with the hordes later on. They make up for it in the operations mode, because that's where those missions have those boss battles at. My first operations mode mission, I went and played through a fairly dynamic level where we're chasing down the space dragon. It was lighting the level on fire, impeding our way as we made our way to its like nest. Finally got to it. It wasn't just a unload as many bullets as you can into it to kill it. It turned out that there was a puzzle to solve where we had to hit certain markers to activate the laser that our guys were lasing in the main campaign, to then hit the target and kill the dragon. It was a lot of fun. It was really dynamic, and that's what I felt was missing from the main campaign. It's great that they put that in the multiplayer mode, but as far as storytelling, it kind of does even it out to where, like, yes, you're the big heroes, but you're also not doing the big over-the-top battles, which you kind of would expect. But, like I said, that's just a meh. It's okay, but it's great that they still have that in the game. It was still a lot of fun. But it's what I felt was missing from just the main campaign. Now, let's get to the bad. The bad in this game is that, yes, they do kind of explain what's going on throughout the story, but it's probably more helpful if you go and you watch some lore videos prior to it. Not knowing anything about Warhammer, this game is not going to give you a whole lot of background on who the Space Marines are, why their factions have turned war into like a religion, why they follow the Emperor, why they're doing anything. They just give you that and expect that you either already know it, or they'll give you the background, at least what's going on with your main character throughout the story. But that's fine. You don't have to know all that to enjoy this game, which is great. They're not going to sit there and try and justify the morals of the Empire versus what you're fighting, or the heretics, or chaos, or any of that stuff. It's just, you're a Space Marine, these are the people you're supposed to kill, go kill them. Which is perfectly fine. We don't need to justify actions of big political groups or this and that. The game can just be flat out, kill a bunch of monsters, be a big burly dude killing and destroying everything, and have fun. And that's what's great about it. Overall, this game is definitely a buy. If you're here to kill monsters and have fun, this title delivers on exactly on what it's selling. If you like good old-fashioned hack and slash gameplay, overcoming overwhelming hordes of enemies, this game is absolutely for you. Definitely recommend it. Go buy it. It's a great full price game. If you buy this, you will not regret it, and you'll have lots and lots of fun. It is definitely a fun game. I recommend playing it. You don't have to be a Warhammer fan to enjoy it. Just be a fan of good old-fashioned hack and slash gameplay, killing bugs, killing enemy marines, killing hive minds and giant dragons. This game has it all. Check it out.